It's a ladies' build at McGolf. Stay tuned and let's go over some of the special needs for ladies' clubs. Welcome back to the McGolf Shop. Jim McCleary, Ohio's and quite possibly the Big Ten's most awarded and certified club maker or club fitter. And today we're going to put together a set of clubs for Pat. Pat comes from Austin, Texas with Pat and Charlie. These are some of the nicest people you'll ever want to meet. All right, they've come here 3 times now, and every time, first time we met Pat, she saw an article that we had on us in Golf Digest, the women's edition, where we fit a very good golfer in her 80s from northern Ohio. And she ended up coming to visit with Charlie. And then they came back a few months later with Charlie and some visitors, with their neighbors. And we had a large fitting session that day. And here it is a few years later, and Pat has come back to visit us one more time. So we'll call this the ladies edition. So what do ladies need that other golfers don't? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, okay? The fittings should be gender neutral, right? It is whatever the needs of that golfer is, regardless, kid, lady, man, okay? So sometimes the man golfer don't swing very fast and might need a lady shaft. We'll call it a flexible shaft. Sometimes the lady swings very hard and the lady shaft is just way too much and we're spraying the ball and you need a firmer shaft. And same thing goes with especially the kids that are hitting that 13, 14-year-old, right? They're no more kids. They're probably swinging in something that's probably a firm lady shaft or maybe even more depending on their talent. That's why this is so important. All right, so ladies clubs. So what do we select for? The Wilson D350. Is that a ladies club? No, it's not a ladies club. It is what I would call a distance iron, and that's what we are looking for. We're looking to pick up more distance. Pat is a very accurate golfer, so we need to get more distance. So how do you get more distance? Well, the best way is quality of your hit. Got to get into the center of that club face. You got to get it to where your smash factor or your quality of your hit is very high. You want it as high as you can possibly get. Once you've got it that high, then it's a trade-off. Do you want to go further or do you want to be more accurate? And sometimes a longer shaft, sometimes a lighter shaft. Just depends on the way that the golfer swings. Well, Pat's very rhythmic. She comes in a little bit flatter, so this time we're going to use these and we're going to make them very flexible to match her swing speed, and then we're going to make them just a tad longer. Now mind you, Pat is a shorter person, so the last time we made some clubs they were virtually 1.5 inches, I think, 1.5 inches shorter than ladies standard. So think of that, if you will, like a 35.5 to 35.75 inch 5 iron. That's pretty short considering the 37, right, is ladies, 38's a guys. So this time we're going to go a little bit higher. We're going to make this as a 6 iron, okay? 6 iron, well that's a 7 iron. But we're going to make the 6 iron at 36. So it's just a slightly longer, nothing gross, in order for her to get through there. Now we tested it and she actually did hit stuff further and didn't lose it left or right very hard, so that's what we're going to do. Now let's talk about the 350. The 350 right now is replacing the D300 because it's time, right? This is a very large pocket cavity type club, has a very large sole on it, so you won't get stuck in very strong lofts. And I would say it's not it's about a medium offset, a medium large offset. You see where it goes right there? It's got offset on it, but it's not like super gross. So that's what we're going to use for the irons. Now this is right what comes up into testing, is that when we did the testing, D300 I didn't think was going to work. It didn't go very far. However, what worked really good was the C300. Okay, the C300 about 12 degree. The C300 really put the ball out there. You know, it's got the port holes or the power holes on both the top and the bottom. It's got some weights, and we did change them around. It didn't impact a thing. And then it has an adjustable hosel, and we can make it go up and go down however that we want. Like the color, I like the color, and it performed well with the shaft that we're going to put in. We're going to cover that in a bit. So we like that. Well, going on with that, she also liked the C300 Hybrid. She liked the C300 Hybrid. Okay, again, nice color, couple weights, power holes on the bottom and the top, very adjustable. Okay, I did. You'll see reviews. I'm going to post them up in here somewhere. There'll be for the hybrid and for the driver. You'll be able to see that. And we also went to the fairway woods. You know, you don't need you get, again, for the ladies, you get these lady sets. Well, if you're getting started, okay, that's probably a pretty good thing. But for an accomplished golfer or somebody that's been golfing for some time, chances are one of those sets isn't going to get where you need to go. That's why, ladies, please go get fit. There's no need. You won't be embarrassed. Normally and if you really want, what I've done in the past is get a couple of friends and let them come with you and let them go through the fitting as well. You know, in a group setting. Okay, get fit in a group setting. That way you're comfortable with your friends in an environment that you may not be comfortable in. Okay, we do that not quite often because there's not that many lady golfers out there, but we do that. So let's talk about the shaft. We're going to go with the Accra Shaft, and in this particular case, we're going to go with the Accra I-Series shaft. All right, nice neutral gray color into a gray shaft band, and as you can see, it's a nice wrap pattern. All right, so let's talk about Accra Shaft for a moment. The Accra shafts come in a family of shafts. So when we fit the driver shaft, that they have a fairway wood shaft and they have a hybrid shaft that marries up dynamically. Not just 10 grams heavier, cut it off and go, and same thing with a hybrid. It's not how that works. They said, okay, we got a smaller head, so the dynamics of how that head interacts with the turf and how a golfer swings is different than the driver, so they made a profile to dynamically match. Then they went to the hybrid and went, you know what, that's a different club too, and they came up with a different type of a profile. And of course, most hybrids are 370s versus 335s, and so you get a whole nother shaft. But they all should feel the same when they're put into the clubs and act like the same. That's what we like the best, right? Then we're going to go into the Accra I-Series irons. You see all this stuff back here? That's all of them right there. Now we're going very, very, very light. All right, we like to. That's again going to help with the swing speed that we were talking about, and we are going to have 40 gram, which end up being about 45 gram iron shafts and 50 gram wedge shaft, and then we're going to do a 40 gram driver shaft, which would be closer to the 48, and then we are going to slightly higher with the fairwoods and slightly higher with the hybrids. And then we're going to put wind grips on them, and they're standard wind grips. No, not ladies wind grips, but standard wind grips. All right. Again, another myth that most ladies need these teeny weeny little bitty grips about that big around. No. All right. Normally, what I find out is men's standard to even maybe longer. Ladies tend to have longer fingers, and if you hold it into the fingers the right way, you end up needing a larger grip in order for that to feel comfortable for a lady. So ladies, have your grip size checked. So we're going to make this to the flexes that I want to make them to, and then we're going to cut them to the lengths I want to cut them to, and then we're going to talk about it. So let's get to building.